Egypt has been hosting the fifth high-level meeting for migration in the Euro-Mediterranean region. The three-day event focuses on boosting security partnerships to combat irregular migration. Foreign ministers from Africa, Asia, and Europe, as well as representatives from the African Union, European Union, and UN bodies discuss policies and challenges around migration. CGTN's Adel El-Marroui reports from Cairo.
The International Center for Migration Policy Development held the fifth high-level meeting for migration in the Euro-Mediterranean region in Egypt this week. Europe, Asia and Africa, three continents converge at the Mediterranean Sea, what makes regulating migration a massive regional challenge. One of the main purposes of these talks was to establish joint policies to regulate human mobility.
We discussed how to strengthen the capacities of the states to deal with migration, whether regular migration or irregular migration. We mentioned the importance of coherent policies in sending and receiving countries and promoting partnerships between institutions of the sending countries themselves in order to decrease the flows of irregular migration.
We are organizing an event on migration capacity partnerships, and we are here in Alexandria as a symbolic location for the Mediterranean.
Alexandria's coast, along with other Egyptian cities, were among the top transit points for irregular migrants in Africa. The conference discussed the Egyptian model in ending it. Participants also discussed cooperation to help developing countries facing issues that fuel migration, such as climate change, economic and political crises.
The themes of the conference were about how to protect migrants, how to find solutions for these poly-crises and their impact on migration. So for instance, when talking about climate change and migration, we talked about how to curb the impact of climate change on migration, how to prepare people to accommodate the different impacts of climate change.
Among the policies discussed is for Europe to provide legal migration opportunities for those from Africa and Asia. Countries also agreed to help establish and integrate early warning systems of mass mobilization. That will help decision makers track human mobility and engage with waves of migration before they begin.
The Euro-Mediterranean migration meeting in Alexandria comes at a critical time. As winter approaches this part of the world, high tides drop down significantly the number of illegal migrants attempting to cross the Mediterranean into Europe, which gives time for policymakers around the Mediterranean Sea to implement what they agreed upon here in Egypt ahead of another peak expected by next spring. Adel El-Marroui, CGTN, Cairo.